Couple of funky things going on to my feet. Whoa.
Today, our best friend on Whitelines Real Time Reviews is the GNU Rider's Choice. It's going to be making friends with Stef Zeestraten in Cardrona. So always a lot going on with LibTech and GNU boards. They've got plenty of technology. This one has the classic C2 hybrid, so you've got really severe rocker between the feet, then camber under the feet, and then a little bit more rocker on the edges. You've also got this bread knife traction, but the Rider's Choice is also asymmetric, so you've got a designated heel edge. The radius of the side cut there is a bit tighter, so supposedly it makes it easier to grip on your heel edge. An awful lot going on and a lot to get used to for a tester. Let's see how Stef Zeestraten gets on.
Oh, oh. Definitely feel the bite, but the whole V in the middle thing is weird. Holy moly! Woo! Ooh. Quite fun. The GNU Rider's Choice, the 157.5. First run, I was a wee bit skeptical with all the gadgetry going on. Asymmetric, has a heel and a toe side edge, but it's twin. Has a little V or a camber in between, right in the middle of the board, which I've definitely noticed a little bit. Like definitely I'm either fore or I'm aft. But outside of that, the magnet traction, things like that, is surprisingly bitey, fun, kind of all-round good fun. And I got confident on it quite quickly, which I wasn't quite expecting. So surprisingly a good time. Bye. All right, loop-de-loop. Woo! That's fun. This thing is playful. That thing is wild.
It's time for Judge, Judy and Executioner on the GNU Rider's Choice from the clipboard of power. Stef Zeestraten, we build this one, it's got all of the gimmicks from Lib, but are they gimmicks or do they really work?
Surprisingly, I got on this board thinking there's way too much going on here. There was the rocker right in the middle, you've got the edge, and you've got the asymmetric side of things going on, and I was like, okay, sure, let's give it a go, let's have a bit of fun, let's see and try something quirky.
Low expectations.
Pretty low, well actually no, too many expectations almost.
Okay.
But not high. But then as soon as I got on it, it bit. It held an edge, it was fun, it went to where you wanted to go, and I actually built up my confidence within maybe half a run. I was like, okay, I can ride this is fun. So in that sense it was great. The only thing that I found that was very noticeable was that rocker right in the center point of the board.
It's really aggressive, isn't it? Kind of through the middle here.
Just right, that punch bit. And I definitely noticed that I was either on the front half of my board or on the back half of the board. So that fore-aft movement, I was kind of struggling between making the decision of where I was riding. I wasn't relaxed in the center, and it was putting me left or right. Other than that, once I slowed down and started jibbing it around and spinning, it was so fun because you didn't catch and it was all good fun. But at the higher speed, I would have loved to have a version where that exact same shape, that bite was amazing, but maybe you definitely need to have a little bit of experience with the rocker side of things to make this thing go a hundy.
What you said a really interesting thing about this, that it hits that perfect middle ground. The rocker gives it almost an unforgiving side, but you've got it here, pretty fun, plenty of bite, but you're pleasantly surprised. It's got good pop, not too stiff, and it sits nicely in the middle of the flex rating. So it's kind of that Goldilocks zone where it's got everything you want to make it work and not too much of anything.
It's definitely in that zone where it will target a massive range of the people that want to ride this type of board. I think, you know, from beginner to quite advanced rider, that you can have a shit ton of fun on here, which is awesome.
And really interesting to note, there is the RCC version of this, which is the Rider's Choice camber. So if you don't get on with that C2 hybrid profile, rocker between the feet, camber under them, then this one, the camber version, could really work for you. But you said, importantly, it is an asymmetric board, first and foremost. You said you didn't notice that. It's almost subtle enough that it's doing the work for you without being too pronounced.
I think the bread knife edge definitely came through, but the other parts, the asymmetric part, were very subtle, and not in a bad way. Sometimes I think all those gimmicks get overdone a bit so that they can have a selling point, but in this respect, it was subtle enough that it was doing its job, but wasn't taking over the experience, if you know what I mean.
Okay, fantastic board, well worth checking out.